Kumusta ka mo? Hi, it's Victoria. Think about this. Nagumpisa ang internet as a way for people to communicate. It's a platform meant to help people express themselves, but today, everyone's basically tiptoeing around each other. Pirmi ka nalang gaduha-duha kung basi ang i-post mo, basi may maka-offense ang iban nga tao. While it's good that we're becoming more aware of what we post online, it's getting to the point nga tanan na lang nga obrahon ta may ma-offend. Ang pirmi na ba lang nga-focus lang sa sala sang isa ka tawo sa pag-post niya. And worse, people are so comfortable canceling other people out to the point of no return. In this video, we're going to talk about cancel culture. What is it? Why do we do it? And is it time to cancel it? Cancel culture is the 21st century term for boycotting someone. It's when a group of individuals decide that a person should no longer be supported because, well, they're problematic. So if something doesn't sit well, people raise the issue and put the person in trial, usually a person of influence or brand, by the media and the public. And the worst part about it is cancel culture isn't just about not liking someone and unfollowing them. It's about rallying behind a hate campaign against them. In short, when taken advantage, it could also be cyberbullying. Nagumpisa ang cancel culture sa Western society with a debate on whether people should continue to support someone, especially with big audiences that have committed heinous crimes or have publicly stood up in support of damaging causes like racism. In short, when a person contributes to a destructive pattern, we question whether we should keep giving them the stature they have. Last year, 11 men were canceled because they were accused of gang raping Christine de Serra. Like wildfire, nagsala-sala ang social media. These men were harshly judged by the society. Nasisante sa ubra, ginbash sa mga social media nila. They were afraid for their lives kay maskin diin sila magkadto, lain ang tulok sila. And all this was happening even before the prosecutor came up with a verdict. So people jumped to conclusions, cyberbullied 11 men, and canceled them for allegedly raping their friend. So have we come to this? Guilty until proven innocent? Tapos pagwa sang verdict sang prosecutor, wala man giyagali may nang rape siya based on evidence? It was a party gone wrong, and all those evidence did not lead to those 11 men being guilty. Pero paano na lang naiyabi? The damage has been done. Nawad-an na sila sa ubra, na-troll na sila online, na-trauma pa sila sa ginagyan nila. So ano? Sorry na lang kay rong sentanan nga hateful comments? So yes, cancel culture is a thing. And while its intention is to put people in place and to educate these people in position of influence, it's become so prevalent that it seems to always be the go-to solution for conflict. So how does cancel culture happen in our country? Well, let's start with Heart Evangelista. In the beginning of the pandemic, there was an attempt to cancel her because of the whole PPE and face mask issue. Nga tone deaf siya kuno, and how dare she post something like this when frontliners are struggling kay may ara shortage sa PPE kag face mask. But then, if you think about it, si Heart ang may sala kung nga man may shortage. Ginagawa niya sa resources ang medical field. Hello? Niche ni Heart ang fashion, di ba? So as a fashionista, syempre ang content niya will be about clothes kag ang kakikayan niya. That plus to find ways to go out presentable while still complying to the health protocols. It has come to a point where cancel culture is the easiest way out to harass someone. While using the excuse, di salaan niya bimo? She should know better, and let's hold her accountable. People keep calling people out and call it accountability, when in fact, what they're doing is downright bullying. We cancel people for having varying degrees of opinions that don't mirror ours. So paano tabi mag-progress kung cancel ang tanga-cancel? Hindi pwede magsala. Sure, boycotting people of influence who support bigger negative issues like sexual harassment, rape, abuse, corruption, and overall social injustices has its merits. Why would we praise someone who believes bigotry is accepted? I'm here to support that movement for the right cause, wherein using the social media as a tool to spread awareness and seek justice. But now, People are just using it left and right without assessing the situation first. Sobra kapos mag-cancel subong, people do it so often that they don't consider the repercussions. Paano naman yung mga inosenteng ang gina-cancel? Those that made mistakes long ago. Those who regretted it and took accountability for it. Those who were at the wrong place at the wrong time. This cancel culture has gone way out of hand that it's ruining lives. It's doing more damage than even helping anyone. Like, example, the issue with Maine Mendoza's old homophobic tweets. Nag-resurface ang tweets niya that are literally from 11 years ago, and people are canceling her for it. And yes, it is important to right the wrong, but it's also to hold people accountable with context. We all have done things before that no longer represent us. Like, for example, me. If I get to interact with my 15-year-old self right now, I wouldn't even bother talking to her, or let alone start a conversation with her. I am a totally different person right now. So back to Maine. 11 years na po yun. There are so many things that can change during that span of time. So kung nag-tweet siya sa homophobic remark, no, it doesn't become right. But after her apology, and it was said 11 years ago before it resurfaced, should she still be cancelled? And you know what? Hindi lang ni siya natabo, ha? Damo pa da mga tweets nga 10 to 12 years ago pa nga ginabalikan. It's become a pattern in the cancel culture to dig up the mistakes of the past and crucify people for that. Kung mangkutunta ka, I'm sure you're not the same as you were decades ago. It's good that we recognize bad behavior, but isn't our goal to educate them and not publicly shame them? Paano to sila ma-educate kung hindi sila kalapit sa aton, kaging cancel ta na sila? Let's apply cancel culture in real life, away from social media. Example, you met up with an acquaintance from high school. They did awful things, such as bullying other people. Gin-expect mo nga bully man siya gyapon, but no. They completely changed. She became more respectful, empathetic. So you confronted her about what she did in high school. She sincerely apologized and explained. So i-cancel mo man siya gyapon. She didn't dodge your question. She sincerely apologized for what she did back in high school. And kita mo man, nagbag-o na gid siya, di pala? So, cancel man na siya gyapon? Di pala hindi, basi gusto mo pa gani maging friend siya. Doon nag-abot na ta sa point where the internet has become this place that you should be perfect or else there's a chance that your reputation can be ruined. Or worse, some people even lose their jobs for the things that they did in the past and even regretted it. Wala na gid room for mistake and growth when it comes to the World Wide Web. Amo gid ang negative sides ang cancel culture. We demonize the person and not the act. Admit it, we all made mistakes in the past, but these mistakes should never be tied to us forever, especially if we have already changed or made ways to change. Cancel culture doesn't only happen with celebrities, it can also happen with civilians. Hindi ka agree sa opinions ng isa ka tao, pwede mo siya i-cancel dayon. Amuna na ang nagakatabo subong. Isn't the main goal of cancel culture to educate people and not publicly shame them? So instead of doing this, why don't you just personal message them? Why call them out publicly kung pwede nyo man lang istoryahan sa insyakto? I also think the reason why cancel culture is rampant today is because we think the internet is the only place to be vocal about certain issues, when in reality, there's so many things to contextualize. Damo, gina-call out that for not participating in online political movements. But that doesn't mean they don't care. There are so many reasons behind not posting and not participating. And to name a few, pwede nga hindi pa mo na knowledgeable ang tao sa issue. So, post ka lang sang post. Maskin hindi ka pa mo na well-informed sa issue. Wala ka tayo mag-post. We all use the internet differently. Some are active, some are not. So there's no point in getting mad at your mutuals for not speaking up. The internet is not the only place for activism. So just because wala sila nag-post, doesn't mean wala sila pake. At the end of the day, they don't owe you an explanation as to why they do what they do. You have to understand that not everyone is supposed to agree with you, and that's okay, for as long as they're not stepping on anyone. The internet has become a place to in a way, seek validation. So in return, being able to lead the movement to cancel someone gives power in a way that it builds connection to multiple people who agree with you with canceling someone. So ang ending, para sa ego mo na and not to educate someone. I am for canceling the toxic side of cancel culture. Cancel culture has pros and cons, and we have to be responsible when to use the card. So how do we cancel the toxic side of it? First is to identify why that person is being canceled. Na-cancel sila for being problematic kag may gintapakan sila nga tao? Or is it solely because they have a different opinion than you do? But we have to understand that holding someone accountable for their actions is totally different than harassing and bullying them online. So cancel responsibly. In the case that you've stepped on someone and they actually came forward with it, we have to assess whether the evidence is true, because nowadays it's so easy to post fake news online. So we have to be responsible in knowing whether the evidence that is presented to us is fake or not. So if verified if it's true, now is your chance to support the victims. Cancel culture in this case is not entirely wrong because you're siding with the victim. But we have to keep in mind that justice doesn't end by canceling them. May due process managyapon. In the case where it's not so extreme, learn how to educate them instead of shaming them. The thing with cancel culture is it's so much easier than to sit down and hear people out. Muna kung hindi man gid mo nakadalo ang problema, i-DM mo na lang. At the end of the day, cancel culture will only get worse when used wrongly. This is the 20th episode of this makeup therapy series, and if you like content such as this, please hit the like, the share, comment your thoughts down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!